Hello everyone and welcome to my video on permissions. Permissions in an operating system. Do we need them? Why not just let everyone do everything? Well, imagine that me, a lowly user, could list the files in the root directory, the very top folder, and see that there is, this bin folder. That seems important. It's pretty normal for lowly users to be able to list all these files. But imagine if I could remove that folder, and I'll remove it recursively, which will remove the children of that folder, all the folders in it, and the folders in those, and the folders in those, and the folders in those, and just keep going down, deleting all those files and folders. And I'll forcibly do that too, so it won't even ask me or warn me about anything for that whole folder. That would be catastrophic. Fortunately, the operating system, by default, has permissions set up that you are not allowed to do that. And that is good to stop people breaking things either on purpose or by accident. So let's have a look at how those permissions work and how to change them to fix things. Let's start with the files that are in this folder. I can do ls to see the files that are in the home folder, or I can do ls-l to see a long view that has lots more information about each file. For example, this file called empty file is owned by a user called pi. It's owned by a group called pi. Often you'll find that these are the same. And has these permissions here. It's a bit hard to decode at first what these mean. So I have made a tool that is for me and for me only. So this tool, permission decode, will not work for you. It will only work for me for the purpose of demonstrating in this video. If you want to see the permissions, you will do ls-l. But it will help me to explain the different parts of this. Do you notice that it's in 3 sections? So I've got this part, the first part, the middle part, and the last part. 3 lots of 3. So this first part, RW and dash, that's for the user. So the user will be able to read the file, to see it, and write the file to change it. The group can read the file, but they cannot write the file, they cannot change it. And anyone else who's not in that user, who is not in that group, will only be able to read the file. They won't be able to edit it at all. Okay, what about this file? Fungus facts. This is a script, a program, I can tell because it's green, and it's owned, not by me, not by Pi. It's owned by a user called Ranieri in a group called Ranieri. Let's have a look at those permissions for fungus facts. You'll note, by the way, that when I explain these permissions, I sort of ignored that first character there. That's for something advanced that we won't need. So this one here, the user cannot read it, cannot write it, but they can execute it. So Ranieri can execute the file, but can't actually see what it is. The same for the group. Anyone in the Ranieri group cannot read it and cannot write it, but they can execute it. And anyone who's not in that user or in that group can't do anything. See, anyone that is other can't do anything. Let's check that theory. I am not Ranieri. If I run who am I can see that I am Pi. So, according to this, I should not have read permission to read this file. And I won't have permission to write it either, or to execute it. To execute it, I do // and then the name of the script. Permission denied. In order to execute it, I will need the permission to read it, and also the permission to execute it. So I want to change the permissions for this file. I can do chmod to change permissions, and currently I'm in this other section here because I'm not the owner of the file and I'm not in the group called Ranieri, so I'm just someone else, I'm an other. So I'll give anyone in that other group, I will add the permission to read that file and the permission to execute that file. Oh, I forgot to say which file. Fungus facts. Oh, I can't do that. Of course I can't do that because I'm not the owner. I'm going to run this command as sudo, which will run it as the super user, as the admin. All right. So let's do LSL to see what's in there now. That's different now. So now, the person who owns it, Ranieri, can't read it or write it, but they can execute. The group can't read it or write it, but they can execute. But me, in the other group, I can read it and I can execute it. Haha, so let's run this command. Just to check that I can read it, I'll do cat to see that I can read it. Oh, yep, I can't really understand any of this, but I can read it. And now I should be able to run it as well, because I've got that execute permission. And I've designed this script so that in order for it to work, you have to change it to be owned by the user called Pi. Who owns it now? Currently, the user called Ranieri owns it. So I can do sudo change the owner to be Pi for the file called fungusfax. So now, the user that owns it is Pi, which is me. Alright, well let's try running fungusfax. I wonder if this will work. To run it, I need read permission and execute permission. I am the owner, Pi, so I am in this section here. And although I do have execute permission, I don't have permission to read it. So I'd better give the user permission to read it. Let's go back to that permissions table. That will help me to explain it. So the user does not have permission to read it yet. So I need to change the permissions and give the user add a permission, the read permission, for fungusfax. Let's have a look now. So now, fungusfax, I do have permissions. I've got permission to read it and permission to execute it because I am the owner of the file. You can see that even though you're the owner of the file, you still might not have permission to read it. There's different permissions for the person who owns it, anyone in the group, and anyone else. So now I should be able to run this command. And it says that I run it by putting a number either 0 or 1. I'll try 0. There you go. What a crazy, fun, and somewhat unpleasant fact. I hope this has been helpful, not least of all because you've learnt a fact about fungus, but also Linux permissions. And if you have any questions, or you're curious about anything, or you get stuck, don't hesitate to ask. I'll help you out. Good luck in the challenges, everyone. Bye.